So it's the new year. Looking around my new Airsoft armory, I realise I've got way too many brand new unopened Airsoft guns that I really need to get through, unbox and review. So today I've decided to go for this one. So here it is, people. This is the ARES Amoeba AS-02 Striker, or if you like, the Stubby, because if you remember, the AS-01 was the full length version. Now when I say full length, we're just talking about the barrel. Now before I get it out of the box, something important I need to tell you, and indeed show you. Look, this is the upgraded 90-degree sear version. Let's get it open. Oh, and let me just address this right here. See this nasty big hole in the box? I was really worried when UPS delivered this to me because I was thinking, oh no, they've damaged it. But then when I thought about it, the outer wrapping that this came in didn't have a hole. So it didn't happen with the couriers. What it is, right there is the bolt of the sniper rifle, and that basically punched a hole in the top of the box. So before we get it out, let's see what extras we get. It's the mother of all speed loaders. Look at the length of this thing. I mean, I won't be using this, but it is nice to have some of these old school speed loaders. And there's also a very neat looking mag. Now you're probably thinking, the rifle must be next. Ah, no. Because remember I said this is the updated version, so you've got that 90-degree sear. But if you look, let me just put this down. Behind here somewhere, hopefully, there should be lurking in the box. Oh, and there it is. I can see it. Can you see it? There's a spring. Now, why is that there? Well, basically, this comes shipped with the Japanese spec, or you could say the Asian spec. So we're really not looking at anything more than 280 FPS out of the box. So this is what I mean where I say it's the updated version, but not quite, because you can get the fully updated version out of the box that already has this stronger spring installed. I guess it depends where you buy it from, really. And that will mean out of the box, this ARES Amoeba Striker AS-02 will be shooting in excess of 400 FPS. But guess what? I won't be installing this spring. I'm going to install another spring. And I'll tell you why a little later. Absolutely love the look of this. I didn't think I was going to like it because I thought that's a bit strange. A sniper rifle with a short barrel, but it looks so tactical. Look at that baby right there. Look at that. Gorgeous. Oh, and look, an unjamming rod and an info card with some of the spec, but on the back it can be scanned where you will get more information. And if sometimes you get a bit frustrated with some of these makers of airsoft guns that never seem to put a user manual inside the box, well, ARES can be forgiven here, because if you look on the back of the box, they've stuck it on there instead. Pretty cool, I guess. And I'll tell you what else is pretty cool. Look at all the colour variants you can get for this sniper rifle. Very nice. As I have come to expect from ARES, there's a handy little test card right there. And before we look at the rifle itself and all the features on there, look at this very neat looking mag. Loving the branding on the side and the image of the ammo on the top. It will be the same on the other side, and a nice bit of Amoeba branding on the base. So as you can see, I went for the black version. There was no competition for me really when it comes to the other colours, because this just matches my loadout beautifully and I just think it looks so tactical. Now, as you may or may not know, the entire body is made out of a strong, durable polymer and it has a beautiful finish. Oh, and you see that cheek rest right there? This is what I love about this rifle. It is modular. You can take that cheek rest off and swap it for a different one. And that's not all. There's another piece that can be taken off and swapped out. I'll show you that in a moment. Now, you know me, I couldn't have just bought this without putting a little something on there just to complete the picture. Now, the last time I went for gameplay, which is a couple of weeks ago, I saw a player out there and I'm sure he had one of these bad boys. But it looked just that little bit more awesome than just what you see in front of you right there. And then I realised what he had done is he's got a nice short fat suppressor on the front. Now if you want to put a suppressor, a mock suppressor or one that may work a little on this, you need to get a barrel adapter because you can't put one on just like that as it is. So that being said, perfect opportunity to show you that this screws off. And then you just purchase one of these. An Action Army barrel adapter which will fit this perfectly. That will allow you to put on an array of silencers or suppressors or whatever fits on this. So let's just do this now. Let's get this out. And if you want exact information of the spec of this, I'll put it down in the video description. Let's just show you this right up close and personal. You can see the threaded parts there. It's a 14mm, but again, I'll put more info up in the video description. And just to show you, it's literally like a replacement of the original thread protector that I just took off. Look, they look practically identical, but the difference being there's that extra piece right there so you can attach your suppressor. Nice and tight. And then of course I decided to go for this Swiss Arms barrel extension. Now it says barrel extension, but for all intents and purposes, it's a mock suppressor. A nice short fat one. Oh, I'm having a moment here. Look at that thing. Now, I am going to put a scope on here, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let's go through some of the cool features on this rifle before I go there. So, starting at the back, you've got a very grippy looking butt plate right here. And surprisingly enough, it's not rubber. It's some tough ABS or polymer. Let me just show you, and by the way, good opportunity to show you also, it has a metal shoulder rest, but look what it says on the side. Apart from the Amoeba branding, it has the part or model number for the butt plate, ABS-005. But to be fair, it feels fine. So as we move along, you've got a metal rear sling point, and of course a very substantial looking fat stock right there. I really like this, makes it look really meaty. So as we move along to the grip section of this sniper rifle, it's not just any old sniper rifle grip, because if you look underneath, you can actually take this piece right off. For what purpose, I hear you ask? Maybe you can swap out this grip for a different one? Who knows? But the main function of this being able to come off, would you look at that? Look at the innovation right there. It stores 2 Allen keys for your sniper rifle. The larger of the 2 Allen keys you would use if you wanted to start to take your sniper rifle down. The smaller Allen key is for your hop-up adjustment. Nice. Do you know what? I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely love that feature right there. Okay, so let's move towards the trigger area. Nice looking trigger, but only problem, it's not metal, it's a polymer trigger. To some of you, it doesn't matter. To me, it would have been a nice touch if it was metal. Now let's talk about the trigger guard. That's where I get happy again, because if you look on the bottom, you can see it almost looks as if it's in two pieces. The reason being, it actually works as a mag release. Now, although you've got your AK style mag release right there, you can also see that it moves part of your trigger guard. Now, technically, it's not really part of your trigger guard, but it does sit neatly beneath said trigger guard. So if I let it go, you can see how neatly your trigger guard sits in there. So what does that mean for you as a user of this rifle? It means you can use your trigger finger to release your mag. And again, very sturdy and strong mags, because the idea was I was gonna catch this as it fell out. I didn't. It hit the floor, but it's still in good nick. Get rid of that and get rid of that. Nice. Now let's continue. Now, I've got one little moan. Very nice bolt handle. Bit of an improvement to what they had on the previous version of this, I believe, but you can see the paintwork is coming off already, but it's not the end of the world, because if you can see, it's actually spinning as I touch it. Why? Because it's actually loose. I did that on purpose, because you can take the thing completely off and replace it with another. But nonetheless, I'm putting this one back on and I'm going to tighten it so it doesn't move. And hey, what's a bit of wear and tear on an awesome looking sniper rifle? Let's continue. So, as I've started talking about the bolt, another cool feature on this particular rifle, and let me just spin it round to the other side to show you, it has an indicator there, or to use the correct term, a load indicator. And that's a very cool feature. So what this does, I'll show you as I tell you. When I pull the bolt back, watch what happens to this piece right here. Now, I don't know if you saw that. Tiny little red indicator pops out, and watch what happens when I pull the trigger. Ha! It pops back in. Nice. And of course, that's absolutely awesome and not just a gimmick, because what it does, you could have pulled a bolt back, put one in the chamber, put your rifle down and completely forget that you've got one in the chamber, and then you try and pull the bolt back again and you shove a second one in there. This load indicator will tell you stop, or it could tell you you've already pulled the bolt back. Now, as we come back to this side, another thing I love about this particular model, you can actually have the bolt open. With a lot of other airsoft sniper rifles, you don't actually get to see your round being chambered, but with this bad boy, you do. So we've got a nice metal rail right there, and again I'll be putting a scope on this in a moment. It's got a beautiful fluted outer barrel, and you have a beautifully designed M-lock handguard. Do you know what? The more I look into this thing, it's quite a modular sniper rifle. So you already know you can remove that grip section and of course the cheek rest. You can also change your handguard. How cool is that? Major tactical points there, I think. And of course, any self-respecting sniper rifle will have a point where you can put a bipod. Now, there is one other thing I want to jump back and show you. You see this sling point right there? You can put it on the other side. How cool is that? Look, you just undo those and you can swap it to the other side. So let me get this mag ready. It takes about 45 rounds. I'm going to put a scope on this and let's take it to the range. Now, I've not said that in a while, have I? Come on! Would you look at this baby? Let's get this chronoed, but now I'm going to tell you about that extra spring you saw in the box. That spring will enable this sniper rifle to shoot in excess of 400 FPS, but again, because this is the Asian spec, The spring already installed in this sniper rifle will give you anything from 270 to 280 FPS. However, the great thing about this rifle, you can put an Aeg spring, a standard Aeg spring, in this sniper rifle. So what I've done is I've put a standard Aeg spring in there that should push this up to around 340 to 350 FPS. I won't put in the spring that you saw in the box because I'm sure, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure you have to do some upgrades to this rifle before putting in an even stronger spring. Oh, nice. We are literally looking at about 348, 350 FPS. So I'm going to do a quick accuracy test right now, and it's an indoors one. What I'll do, like I mentioned in my other sniper rifle video, I will take this along with my previous sniper rifle and other sniper rifles to the outdoor range and do one video where I pit them all against each other. I test each sniper rifle and see how good they are against each other. But for now, here's a quick indoor one. Oh yeah, come on, I'm pretty happy. In fact, I am over the moon with those results. If you look there, I pretty much, apart from ripping it another hole in the same place there, which moved into the 10 circle, pretty much every other shot, look, there, and quite a few landed in the same spot there, which eventually, as I said, ripped into the 10 circle. Every shot on target. Very impressed. Oh, and of course, there's that other shot down there in the 10 circle, but that was my first shot, so forgive me. So, what are my initial thoughts on this Ares Amoeba AS-02 Striker? Or if you like, the Stubby. So putting a spring in here, that would give me about 350. I was comfortable with that, and I absolutely love it. More information in the video description, and please do check out the video description because there's some important information down there which, if it turns out is not correct, I can always change it. That's why I put it in the video description and not in the video. It's to do with the internals of this rifle that some people have had trouble with. So yeah, check that video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time on the Airsoft Mike YouTube channel.